Okay, so we're going to have a look at Mercator Sailing, which uses meridional parts and only 2 formula instead of 3. So the 2 formula we're going to use now are distance and tan course. So with Mercator Sailing, what we have is our triangle again, and we have D long here. And last time we had a D, well, we still have a D lap. We have a D lap with everything and a distance. But as we said last time, D lap is in miles, D long's in minutes. The two, we can't really divide them together and work them together because they're different units. But we need it in miles. What we can do is change our D lat into meridional parts and get a DMP, a difference of meridional parts. What we've essentially done there is change the latitude scale this time into minutes to get the course. Okay. Again, we're just using basic high school trigonometry, opposites, adjacents, and so on and so forth to get the tan of the angle. That's how we get the course. Okay. Now, meridional parts, when you come on the proper course, not just revision, or if you have a look at your course notes that you've got from the college, we explain to you why meridional parts work. You don't need to know too much about why they work. You just need to know that they do. Okay. So what we're going to do now is have a quick glance at a question and work through a question to do it. So we'll go from, I don't know, 49 degrees, 50 minutes north and 20 degrees west. And we'll go to, I don't know, 33 degrees, 17 minutes north and 45 degrees, 16 minutes west. Okay, so what we do, same as with plain sailing, we work out a D lat and a D long. So lat A was 49 degrees, 50 minutes north. And B, 33 degrees, 17 minutes north. Work out the difference between the two to get the difference of latitude. (16 degrees, 33 minutes). We were heading south. Times it by 60 to get D lat. It was 993.0 miles south. Longitude A was 20 degrees, 00 minutes west. Longitude B was 045 degrees, 16 minutes west. That's going to be 25 degrees, 16 minutes west. Times it by 60. 15, this is pretty long, 1516. Right, so we were heading south and we were heading west. So we can sketch in again a little diagram to show us which way we're going. Now what we're going to do is work out meridional parts. So to get meridional parts, what do? Have a look in your table of meridional parts. And you go in with arguments of whole degrees of latitude along the top and minutes of latitude down the side. The table is only built for whole degrees and minutes. You can interpolate between one and the other, okay, but only between those values. So if, for example, you had 30 degrees in 1 minute, you would be there at 1877.82. If you had 30 degrees 02, you'd be at 1878.97. If you were at 30 degrees 1.5, you could interpolate between those two values so as to get the 0.5 value, in other words, halfway. You can do that, okay, but this question we don't need to. So we're going from 49.50, so we scroll down till we get to 49 degrees. So we're in the 49 degrees column, and we go down to 50 minutes. Which is that number there. So 49 degrees, 50 minutes. would be 3441.05. So 3441.05. In some versions of the Meridional parts tables, once you are below 10 degrees, it only goes to 1 decimal place. Generally speaking, it's 2. So the next one, we were at 33 degrees, 17 minutes. So we go into 33 degrees to 17 minutes, and we get 2106.99. 2106.99. Now, point to note, meridional parts are the same for north or south, doesn't matter. I recommend you write in north next to it, just so you remember which way you're doing it. Just like if we were adding differences with DLAT, we apply the same logic to DMP. So if they're the same, we subtract them. If they're different, we add them. The reason I say write it down is simply to avoid you making a mistake. If you're crossing the equator, you're more likely to notice it. So we'll do 3441.05 minus 2106.99. Gives us around 334.06. So the DMP is 1334.06 minutes, and we were heading south. Don't need to name that at all. I wouldn't bother, to be honest. Force habit. But that was your DMP. So, time of the course equals D long divided by DMP, which equals 1516.0 divided by 1334.06. So 1516 divided by that. So the time of the course was 1.136380673, which means the course was 48 degrees, 39.2 minutes. We were heading south, so it's south, and we were heading west, so it's west. So 180 degrees plus that gives us 228 degrees, 39.2 minutes, which is 228.7 degrees true. Keep the quadrantal value for doing the course, so distance equals DLAT divided by cos course. So your DLAT was 993 divided by the cosine of 48 degrees 39.2 equals 1503.14, so we'll call it 1 decimal place for distance. So a fair bit quicker than plain sailing once you've got used to the meridional parts. Accurate, you can use it at any distance. You don't have to use plain sailing less than 600 miles. You can use Mercator for any distance, but plain sailing you can only use more than 600, up to 600 miles. You cannot use it more than 600 miles for plain sailing. So this is your only option, or your only sensible option, for run line above 600 miles.